Hey there everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to RTP Gaming. Rick here, bringing you another review, and today we're going to be looking at Grim Fandango. Now, Grim Fandango was an adventure game developed and published by LucasArts in 1998 for the PC, and the game's project leader was Tim Schafer. Now, Tim Schafer is a designer who's worked on games such as Psychonauts, Brutal Legend, Broken Age, Day of the Tentacle, and he was also an assistant designer on the really successful Secret of Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge.
But I'm your friend. My name's Manny Calavera. I'm your new travel agent.
I don't want a new travel agent. I want to go home.
You can't go home, Celso. You're dead. But you're not alone. Everybody here is just as dead as you. That's why we call it the land of the dead. Are you ready for your big journey?
No.
Now, Manny Calavera's job is to sell travel packages to newly deceased souls. Now, these newly deceased souls are supposed to embark on a journey that takes them 4 years to get to the afterlife, unless they've led a good life. If they've led a good life, then they can take anything from the number 9 train that gets them there in 4 minutes, to a speedboat, to a car, all the way down to a walking stick, and walking being the absolute worst. Now, Manny gets a little bit suspicious when all of his clients are only walking and getting maybe a walking stick with a compass, and all of the premium clients are going through to his rival Domino.
Aha! Yes, that's the ticket. The Excelsior line. Yes, she's a beauty. That compass and the handle will sure come in handy, too. Oh, you're going to have a great trip. Wish I was going.
Why don't you? You could give me a lift.
Now, one of the things that Grim Fandango did at the time when it was released was it was actually nominated for several gaming awards, and it was probably regarded as, at the time, one of the greatest ever adventure games of all time. But at the time it was actually considered a commercial failure. It didn't actually get all the praise and the advertisement that it should have got at the time, and it was deemed a commercial failure, and it was one of the contributing factors in LucasArts' termination of its adventure game series, which was a very big shame in my eyes, because for anybody that actually played this game in 1998, and certainly the remastered version, which is what you guys are actually looking at now, it was absolutely fantastic. You know, it was really good, the story was brilliant, the humour throughout the game was, you know, second to none for me. So I always thought that, you know, it was a bit of a shame that it wasn't deemed, it didn't get its commercial big break at the time, and for me it was a real stab in the heart that LucasArts decided to cut away from their adventure game series. So this game was remastered in 2015, and it was remastered on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, Microsoft Windows, OS X, Linux, Android, and it was also on iOS versions. They were released later on, as the PlayStation versions and everything else was released in the January, and the Android and iOS versions were released in May 5th, 2015. So one of the big things in this game, and you will actually see in some of the clips here, is that it's got a comparison from the 98 version to the 2015 version. Now, the 2015 version in my eyes looks really, really good. It looks a lot sharper. You'll actually notice that some of the motions and the animations are a lot sleeker, a lot smoother, whereas on the 1998 version it was very, very grainy. But at the time when you were playing this on the PC, you know, you weren't really paying attention to that. But certainly on the remastered version, as being somebody who for me, this game was one of my all-time favourite games. For me to actually sit here and play it in a remastered version, it brings back so many memories, and it really is such a joy to play and a joy to see it in all of its glory. So for me, the remastered version is absolutely fantastic. You know, I can't big it up and I can't talk about it enough. You know, I just think it's one of those games that comes along not very often, and it absolutely blows stuff out of the water. You know, it blows other game genres out of the water. So I really, really enjoyed the remastered version and the original version of this game. One of the things that I also want to say about this game is that if you enjoy your crime and puzzle solving type of games, you will love this game. If you're a fan of Monkey Island, you will love this game. If you had ever played games such as Simon the Sorcerer, even going back as far as that, you know, on the PC, if you ever played those games, this game is for you. There is a lot of little puzzle solving bits to do, whereas it not being so difficult as to put you off, it's just enough to keep you engaged and keep you wanting to move on to the next portion of the game. So in terms of the puzzle factor, it has got a lot of puzzles in it, but they're not overly difficult, but it is enough there to keep you gripped and entertained. Now, the other thing that's in this game as well is there is a lot of humour. There is a lot of humour, and some of the clips that you'll be seeing now, if you watched my stream earlier, you will have seen me laughing so much during some of these humorous moments in the game. It's very, very dry, some of the comedy, whereas you have great other characters such as Manny, Glottis, Meche, Ava. You know, you've got really good characters in there, and all of them have their own special bit of humour for you to enjoy. So that is one other big thing that I really enjoyed in this game. And finally, I just want to close out as well with being a really big shout out to whoever did the musical score for this game, because, and I will link it in the musical score, and it's just such a fantastic game with great soundtrack. The original soundtrack for this, if you can actually pick that up anywhere, you know, even if it's on Amazon, I totally recommend it, because it's just so like engaging and gets you in the mood to play this game. So I just want to give a super big shout out to that, because I just really think that that's a big plus in this game's repertoire. So for me, all in all, Grim Fandango Remastered, Grim Fandango the original, for it all to come together and for it to be such a joy to play for me. I've always been a big fan, but if I was to be unbiased, if I was being my opinion, I'd give it a 13 out of 10, because I just think it's just one of those games that comes along not very often, and it's just blends the puzzle aspect and the humour aspect and the gameplay aspect. It just blends all that together and makes it absolutely fantastic. So for me, if I was giving an unbiased opinion, I would give this 10 out of 10, and that is my unbiased opinion. I just can't fault the game at all. The only thing that is a little bit of a downside for it is the camera angles can be a bit iffy, can be a bit sticky. Certainly on the 98 version, but on the 2015 version, one of the things that I sort of had a little mini gripe about was that you will be running in one direction and then the camera will change and you'll be running in the complete other direction. So that can be a little bit annoying, but you know, it's one of those things, you can't help it. And also, one of the other things that I wanted to point out as well is that this game can be switched. It can actually, on the fly, be switched to the 98 graphics, to the 2015 graphics, which I think is a really nice, neat touch. I think that, you know, not many games have that in their locker, and especially not on the fly, as you'll be able to see in some of these clips as well. You'll be able to see that the game is switched from original to remastered, like that, you know, with a finger click. So you can also have the game developers commentary in the background on the remastered version, which you couldn't have on the 98 version. So that also, again, is a little bit of a bonus. You know, I think that that's a really good, nice little subtle touch that they've put in there. So that's the end of this review for me. I hope you guys go out and buy this game and make your own opinions on it, because I totally cannot recommend it enough. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to leave you with this little outro clip. You guys enjoy, and I will see you all later.
I think you're it, Mercedes Colomar. I think you're the one for me.
Gladys, are you loco? What got into you? That was a company car.
Oh, yeah, and it's even better company now. I'm in.
Buenos días.